Hello, sweet soul. How are you? How are you feeling? How is your heart? How is your sweet soul? I am excited to be here with you to explain, to share the resonance of the week, the messages that have dropped in for the following week that we're moving through. And the main message is you are the hero. If you are watching this, you are the hero of this journey. And I want to share a bunch about that. Before I do, hi, I'm Maggie. I am a storyteller and I teach people how to hear the soul, how to embody its wisdom, how to allow it to activate the love force energy that is already naturally within you, that just wishes to come to the surface. I do this through courses and through workshops and through these videos, through my email list, and through ceremonies in person as well, working with cacao and the ancestors. I share these messages every Sunday on the resonance between us. And it's kind of like my version of the cosmic weather, an astrological forecast, except it's the messages that have dropped in between us, between words, between points, based on what I've heard within and without, and from a collective of ancestors whom I work with. So I'm excited to be here with you and talk a little bit more about the main message I heard, which I've heard for a few days now, and that is you are the hero. You are the hero of this journey. There's nobody else. It's you. If you're looking outside of yourself and you see this person or that person or that person appearing to have a beautiful life, that could be true. You may see them as special or different. You are just like them. You are the hero of this journey, and you get to decide how it goes. You get to decide what meaning you will make of all the things that happen in your life. And you get to decide if you are a victim or a hero. Period. That's up to you. That's up to you in every moment. And I'm here to tell you that what I'm hearing is you are the hero. You are here. You found this video from me to share with you that you are a hero. You are on a soul's journey. You are on a journey of awakening and embodying the wisdom of your soul. The wisdom that's been there probably for lifetimes, certainly since before you were born. The wisdom that wishes to come to the surface as you traverse this life, as you experience the ups and the downs, the challenges, the struggles, the quote unquote victories, right? You get to decide what you make of it all. You get to decide what you learn from it all. And as you walk through each of these experiences, you make meaning and you remember that across this journey, across time, you are the one. It's you. It's you and you and you and you. However many people are watching this video, it's each of you. You are the hero of your journey. And it's important that you remember that. Now, you get to decide how you make this meaning. You get to decide how to surface the wisdom of this experience. You get to decide if you do it from your mind, from your heart, or from your soul, or from some other voice within, or perhaps, rather sadly, you may decide to let others tell you what your journey is all about. You know, many of you are seeking purpose outside of you. Many of you are seeking someone outside of you to tell you what your journey is about, what your purpose is, why you are here. And I'm here to tell you that there is a mega big reason why all of us are here. And that's for other people above our pay grades to understand, right? And also, there is a reason why you are here. Just you, just me, just you. And the purpose of your journey, of your hero's journey, is up to you. It really is up to you. Discovering that purpose is up to you. And I can tell you from firsthand experience and from working with my clients that purpose is often on the other side of pain. Your purpose unfolds, it rises to meet you as you take each step through the ups and the downs, through the hills and the valleys, through the joys and the struggles. And whenever you hear the call at certain points in your life, you'll decide to pause and go within and interpret what your journey is about in that moment. You're able to pull the purpose from it in that moment, right? So that's what I'm here to tell you for all time, and certainly for this week. There is a sweetness and a wildness to this week. And there continue to be lots of people telling you who you are and what you're here for. There continue to be lots of entities and structures saying, do this or do that. And certainly, I'm hearing that many of you have a purpose of being free, of feeling liberated, of living life as you have envisioned it, as you dream it to be. So there are a few ways that you can understand purpose. You can move through pain and make meaning from that pain. And know that because you went through it, there is a gift to it, and that may be your purpose. Your purpose may be to simply understand that gift. Your purpose may be to share that gift. But I have a couple of exercises that I sometimes take clients through to help them understand their journey, who they think they are, their purpose. And I hear the call to just like offer, leave one or two on the altar for you today. And I leave it on the altar between us, and you get to decide whether or not any of this is helpful to you. But I heard that there will be some value for some of you to perform a "Who Do You Think You Are" ritual. And this ritual is where we take a piece of paper and we write a letter describing who we are, describing who we think we are using the mind, right? My name is Maggie. I live in Austin, Texas. I do this, I do that. I like this, I like that, right? So you write that letter. You take however long you need to write that letter. And then I invite you to fold it up and burn it, and to toss away who you think you are. And then to get a fresh sheet of paper and to get into the soul's voice, to actually get still and quiet. And I invite you to take 10 to 12 deep breaths before you allow the voice of the soul to surface. And you ask the soul, who am I? What do I like? What do I love? What are my achievements? What are my struggles? And you write that down. And you sit with it. You marinate in it. You allow it to wash over you. And you let what feels most alive come to the surface. So that's one exercise that I hear to leave on the altar between us. Before I get to the next exercise, I'm also hearing this message. There's a story to share from the week that I've been moving through. And it's interesting. I find it really interesting that they're asking me to surface it, because it's sort of related and maybe sort of not related, but I'm going to share it with you anyway, because who I think I am, who I feel I am, has changed dramatically over the last few years. I feel like a new person every few months. I allow myself to become anew every few months, right? And that's mainly because I move toward my pain. If something is painful, I walk toward it. I feel safe enough in this body, in my existence, to be able to walk toward it. Not everyone does, and I can understand that. I have compassion for that. But this week in particular, there was a story I was moving through because I finally have a little separate office in this new place I'm living in, a little tiny room. And in it, I unpacked all my books and I put them on shelves. And I was so excited because I was like, look at all these books I've collected. I'm going to put them on shelves because they mean something to me. These books are who I am. And then I looked at them and I thought, gosh, there's a lot of books here. Many of them are from a past version of me. If you don't know, I've written 2 books about food and my relationship to my body. And so I have lots and lots of storybooks and cookbooks and food books, and they're all on my shelves. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh, they don't feel so right. And a friend advised me sweetly to start getting baskets and to put them in baskets and put them on my shelves, and maybe they'll feel okay. Maybe they'll feel more like me in baskets. And I realized, it took me some time, that what I was doing was putting away an old version of myself. I wanted to hold on to it in some way. I wanted to continue to identify with it in some way. I wanted to keep it, right? And so I put them in baskets and I started doing up my shelves with just lots of baskets filled with books. And no doubt it's pretty, right? It's lovely. And then I heard, what are you doing? Who are you? Who do you think you are? You are no longer the woman who, or for whom, these books carry so much meaning, carry so much weight. They are memories. They produce like nostalgia within you, and that's lovely, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And yet there are hundreds of them, and you are just putting them in containers to conceal them, when in fact you don't need to spend a fortune on baskets to conceal parts of you. You can return all the baskets and give away all the books, because the new version of you doesn't require those books. The new version of you wants to feel lighter, wants to feel freer, wants to feel more liberated. And the journey that I've taken of letting go of my own life, my old life back on the East Coast with lots of stuff, and moving to a new part of the country and building from the ground up, like literally buying a sofa, right? Literally buying a table. That new me wants a whole lot less stuff. That new me doesn't need all the stuff to conceal old, past versions of myself. I don't need to carry that around. I can have empty shelves for new memories and new experiences and new stories and new meaning that I make of my journey for myself. So I wanted to share that story with you because they invited me to. The ancestor said, share this story. It feels so silly to me, and yet it's such a timely metaphor, right? I don't need more things to hold the old things. I just need to let go of the old things. And I also need to realize that who I think I am has changed. There's another exercise that I have done. You know, I used to do it many years ago. I ran a food business, and I worked with many makers and small businesses, and they'd come to me for coaching, and they'd say, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. I want to feel different. I want to do something else. I don't want to run a food business. Running the food business is a lot of work. It's exhausting. Whether it's a restaurant or, you make something on a farm and put it in a jar and send it all over the country, it's hard work. It's hard labor. And I invited them into this exercise where they would move through the decades of their life and pick out stories or memories when they felt most alive. And we go through this process together. I take them through this journey one-on-one, and we think when we feel most alive. And we write them all down. We piece them together, and we look for the through line. We look for the thread. We look for the theme of their hero's journey. And you understand or interpret what those moments of aliveness are telling you about you. You are the hero of the journey. And the journey is about aliveness, is about cultivating aliveness, is about allowing aliveness, right? And aliveness is so closely correlated to love. Aliveness is like waking into more love for the self, for this existence, for others, for everything. So that is another exercise that I leave on the altar between us. If that feels helpful in understanding your hero's journey and what your purpose is. And also, you can get out of the mind entirely. We can do all these beautiful mind exercises, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're beautiful. We are brilliant beings. We have these great brains that we probably do not use enough of, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I no longer allow the mind to lead this journey, this adventure that I'm in. And the way I describe it when I teach about hearing and following your soul is that the soul is the ringleader of all the voices within you. The soul is the hero of your journey. The soul is the most integrated self, the self that allows, the self that aligns, the self that flows. And self is the wrong word because it really is an essence. Your soul is an essence, right? So you can follow the mind and its ego and its personality and who it thinks it is. And that's beautiful. And that's a start. That's lovely. I never wish to villainize the mind. The purpose of hearing and following the guidance of the soul is to bring harmony or equilibrium to all the voices within, right? The soul is the ringleader. So the mind has a purpose, and the body and the pain that it feels has a purpose. That is a voice. That is a part of you that is speaking to you. Your emotions in the heart, they have a purpose, right? Your emotions speak to you. I'm going to speak about that in just a second. And then there's your intuition, the senses, the sensations, sort of those otherworldly sensations, they speak to you too. And then there's the soul, and the soul is the great integrator. The soul, when you allow it, is the great awakening to you being more than just those voices, you being more than just your mind. Emotions are important. They are a key part of the process of hearing the soul, because you must allow the emotions in order to integrate and hear your soul's voice, hear the language of love. Because the soul is like all about forgiveness and compassion and love. To allow that voice to surface, oh my gosh, you have to feel all the things. You have to allow yourself to feel all the things. You have to feel them and follow them to the end of a road. And then, when you've felt enough, you come back to center, come back to wholeness with your soul. Your soul helps you remember that you're whole. Your soul helps you remember that you can feel all those things at the end of that road, and then allow them and integrate them, and then take a right or a left and continue on your journey. I also hear the call to say that some people think I teach listening to your intuition when I say listen to your soul. And the answer to that is yes and no. The intuition, our intuition, is beautiful. It is instinct, right? It is instinct felt through the senses we know and the senses we don't know, right? Intuition comes in very quickly, very fast, like a bolt of lightning. And some people believe that they hear the intuition and then they act. They should act very quickly because that's what the intuition is telling them. That's not what I hear when I hear my soul. Intuition is fast and soul is slow. Remember, soul has no concept of space and time. Time doesn't matter to the soul. And so soul invites you into the pause to allow, to flow, to align, to integrate. So think of soul as the invitation into the pause, into the silence, into source, into the source that you are and that you are connected to. The soul is the ringleader of all the voices within you. And your soul, if you listen to it, whether it be on a daily basis or if you sit down with it weekly, whatever feels good. I talk to my soul every single day, but I've developed this practice and I teach it to people. And I also hold space in ritual for us to hear the soul here in the body as well. And for us to detect the difference between mind and soul, between emotion and soul, between intuition and soul. And my invitation to you is you are the hero of your soul's journey. So, what is your soul telling you? How can you listen to your soul? How can you follow its guidance, even in tiny ways? And that, I think, is the summation of the resonance of this week. To remember that you are the hero on this journey, that each one of you watching is the hero of your journey, right? Forget everything else. Forget how this person does their journey or that person does their journey. You are the hero of your journey. Your timing will be wildly different. Your actions will be wildly different. They will be inspired by different things. Your evolution will be wildly different. And all of it is happening right on time. You are never late. There's no concept of being late with the soul. You arrive when you arrive. And it's perfect. And it's beautiful. And if you would like to arrive into your soul, I am hosting a three-day cacao ritual series, which I encourage you to do with cacao, but you can do without cacao. The practices are still powerful. And it's happening on February 19th, 20th, and 21st. We will walk through elemental gates with cacao. and feel and amplify and align with the soul. Because when you align with the soul, you align with the love that's already within you and you surface that love. And I call it love force energy because it moves through you and it sort of spills from you all over the place, to everything you do, to everyone you know. And then as that love surfaces, you attract all that is meant for you. You attract whatever you're called to attract. And that could be a better job. That could be better people, more friends, soul family. That could be the love of your life. You decide. You get to decide. So that is the offering on the altar between us for this week. And I am with you in mind, body, heart, intuition, spirit. I'm with you in all of it. And I'm sending you so much love. And I promise, I do promise, that I will be back again very, very soon.